Alright, 6:30 in the morning. On to New York City. Let's see what happens. Should be an interesting day. Full of adventure and new things. We'll see how it goes. As the title said, what not to do in New York City. It's not so much not what not to do, but what to do, i.e. plan a little better than we did. Yes, I'm going to speed up quite a bit of this because we spent a lot of time in the train station. This is Penn Station. We spent a lot of time in the subway, unfortunately, because we got lost, because we didn't have a plan. We had a plan of what we wanted to see. We didn't quite have a plan of how to get there. So I'll catch up with you in a second. All right, number one reason to have a plan of how to get there and where you're going is no sooner than we got out of Penn Station, or almost out of Penn Station, after talking to a police officer about which train we should take and which way we should go, a gentleman happened to hear what was going on and told us, hey, come here, I'll help you out, I'll show you how to do this. Took us over to the pay station, got my brother-in-law to fill it out, talking really fast the whole time, kind of do this, do that, do this, do that, and walked us over to the turnstile, had Steph, my wife, swipe in. And as soon as she swiped in, she said, hey, press that gate, which is the crash gate, which I know now is you're not supposed to do. But he had to press the crash gate. We walked through. He passed us a card that was not the card we bought. It was a card that only had one ride left on it. So that's why he switched them on us. Hey, I guess you're going to go to New York City. You're going to get scammed. But that was probably the worst thing that happened to us all day long. So as you're seeing, this is the first time we saw Central Park. We end up back here again, but we'll talk about that later. So what had happened is we got off the train, trying to figure out where we were at, trying to get our bearings. And we were wandering around, doing our thing. And just so happened, a gentleman saw us on the street that works there in New York City, probably a sanitation worker or something like that, the guy in the picture there with his vest on. He decided he was going to take time in his day to take us back down to the platform, show us what train to get on, what platform to get on, which direction to go to get to Ground Zero. And he also showed us, you get down there, there's all this stuff down there, Battery Park's not far, you can check out this, you can walk and check out that. So it was really nice. Like I said, after being, scammed in New York City, everybody else we encountered was really nice, really helpful. Again, I think I had the wrong impression of New York and New Yorkers before going there. We met some really nice people, some really good people that are really willing to help us out and went out of their way to do so. So don't be scared to go and don't be afraid to ask, because most people in New York City that we found were really nice. May not be everybody's experience, but that was ours. We had, like I said, some really nice people that were always super helpful to help us get where we wanted to go. Well, as you can see, we finally made it to Ground Zero. Got to see the infinity pools. I have to say these things are amazing. They're really big, really well done. Just like I said, magnificent memorials to those who lost their lives during that tragic day in America. But these were just absolutely beautiful. I definitely didn't do a great job of capturing how beautiful they are, but because, yeah, they're amazing. You definitely need to ever get a chance, you need to go check them out for yourself. Don't miss out. Again, beautiful area, beautiful park right down there in the middle of Manhattan. So very cool, very cool. So here we are on the famous Broadway street. You know, Broadway, the musicals, all that stuff. I didn't realize at first, we're on our way to Times Square. At first, I didn't realize where we were at. I didn't realize this was Broadway, where all the shows were. It just seemed like any other regular street in New York City. So I didn't realize where I was at until I was walking back from Times Square and saw the street sign that said Broadway. And also over at our left here is actually, wait for it if it shows it. I don't know if I turn that way. Is Paramount Studios where they do the Tonight Show. So I was like, oh man, this is Broadway. I didn't realize I was on Broadway. Yeah, just kind of all that construction, all the people just kind of coming and going. Didn't even realize where I was at. So pretty cool area though. But we'll talk about more about Times Square in a sec. I like that second photo a whole lot more than that first photo. But here we are, Times Square. I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but Times Square to me felt like the Vegas Strip, but on the East Coast. It was cool to see. I don't know if I would go. If I went back to Times Square, it'd have to be at night to see it all lit up and stuff like that, to enjoy it in that way. But it was definitely a lot of commerce and bright lights. It felt like the Vegas Strip. I mean, I'm not trying to bash on it, but if you've been to the Vegas Strip, you pretty much could probably feel like you've been to Times Square. We got to see where the ball dropped. It's off to my right here. Yeah, again, interesting place. A lot of people. Definitely New York-ish. I don't think it's what New York's really like, but again, I'm glad I got to see it. I don't know if I'd go back to Times Square during the daytime. But I got to do it, so I can say I've done it and mark it off the list. And wait for it. Here oh, there he is, the Naked Cowboy. Yep, I got to see the Naked Cowboy. I was doing some research after I got home. That man makes like $120,000 walking around with a guitar and in a Speedo, not playing very well or singing very well, but makes like $120,000 a year in tips. Amazing. A little too cold in the winter for me to be running around in a Speedo, but hey, good on you, man. Do your thing. So yeah, now we're leaving Times Square. We wandered around, checked it out. Kid did a little shopping, wife did a little shopping. No big deal. You know, doing the New York thing. Or is it the New York thing? I don't know. Back on Broadway, there's the Paramount Studio. Yeah, again, couldn't believe I was on Broadway. So we're walking back to the subway yet again. I think I spent more time in the subway than I did. Hey, Harry Potter. In the subway than I did on the street sometimes. But yeah, we're going to go back to Central Park and see the third place we wanted to see. So we wanted to see Ground Zero, Times Square, and Central Park. So we're going to go back and check Central Park out now. We're walking back to the subway. We'll catch up when we get to Central Park. I was going to speed it up, but I had to share this guy's walking. We're walking past now his amazing, like he had Gucci slides on and a Gucci bag. And I don't know, that dude was definitely rocking some crazy streetwear. But I had to show you that. Definitely some strange things you see in New York City. But hey, everybody's got their thing. And going back to the planning, you see that guy in the red shirt? There's these buses on the side here. So I got back, and a buddy of mine had visited New York City, I don't know, a year or two ago. And he was saying these buses, you pay like a flat fee, and you can jump on and off the buses, and they run all over New York City, downtown, just kind of take you to all these areas, and you can jump on and off the bus all you want. And we didn't know that at the time, so maybe we should have done that. At least we could have been some fresh air and being stuck instead of being stuck in the subway every time I turned around. So again, I get to ride the subway, the world famous New York City subway. Again, I didn't find it all that bad. We didn't have anything bad happen to us. It was pretty chill. Maybe it's because we went on a Monday day, a work day, but we didn't have any problems. Everybody was really nice. Everything was, not what I expected. That's the best way to explain it. New York was actually really cool, way better than I expected. I would love to go back, especially at like Christmas time and stuff. Wander around with all the lights and the Christmas trees and Rockefeller Center and all that stuff. So maybe I'll make another trip up there before too long. But I enjoyed my time there. I really had a good time. So, as you can see, made it back to Central Park. I'm amazed by the giant green space that a city the size of New York has in it. Central Park was absolutely amazing. Of course, everybody told me, don't be there after dark and all that stuff. Hey, during the daytime, there's people running, people biking, kids playing in the grass. Again, like I said, it's amazing. There's such a giant, huge green space in a city the size of New York City with all the, I don't know, was it 2 or 3 million people that live there? It was really neat to see. Again, I don't know, maybe we weren't there long enough, but New York City was pretty good to us. I enjoyed it. I would definitely go back. But next time I'd have it better planned, how to get there, what to use, subway, bus, whatever, walking. But definitely have a map. There's a Metro app that I would definitely suggest you use. But again, if you ever get a chance, don't be afraid. I was a little nervous before going, but after going, I'm really glad I did. I can check it off the list of places I visited. And again, I think I would go back. So as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you next time.